Sign up for the free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.
Well, you got to absolutely love that horn sound. That means we've got racing not too far away. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Welcome to the month of August here, the very first Friday in the month of August. It is the 6th. It's time for another edition of Pony Pundits here, powered by WagerTalk.com. And we've got stakes races on our minds, and who better to talk about them than the two pundits themselves, Marco, D'Angelo, and Sig in the house here today. WagerTalk.com is where you can find them. And welcome to August, guys. It's kind of hard to believe. Marco, kind of crazy here. It is, we smell football just around the corner, but the reality is, got a couple of really lucrative stakes races coming our way still before it's all said and done this year. How's your week been, my man?
It's been good. Baseball's been red hot, Joe. We've been crushing it. Opened up the football season last night. Got a win with, my hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But more importantly, I didn't bet on the Steelers. We bet on the under in the game, and that was an easy winner as well. So good night all around. Stake race, 5 horses for $1 million. Man, I'd love to get one of my horses in a 5-horse field for $1 million, Joe. I'd be smiling a little more than I am right now.
Well, I think you and I would both agree we'd saddle Sig up for part of $1 million there. We'd be good to go. But Sig, Saratoga can. Yeah, exactly. We'd still be in the gate. Who are you kidding? We're cruising along here at Saratoga. A couple of weeks into the meet. How's it been going?
It's been going real good, Joe. We're like you said, we're about halfway into this meet here. Runs through Labor Day. Big weekend coming up with the Whitney. It always is. We have 12 races on the Saturday card, including 5 stakes races, and there's 3 Grade 1s on there, including the Test, the Saratoga Derby, and the Whitney that we're going to talk about here shortly.
Yeah, guys, and listen, 5 horses, $1 million up for stake. Doesn't get any better than this. Beautiful day at the races tomorrow at Saratoga. It's a beautiful day every race day here, guys. Before we dive in to this 5-horse field and have these guys break them down for you, I will remind you over at WagerTalk.com, in fact, every race day, hop on board with Sig. He has his daily racing reports up by 9 a.m. Eastern time each and every day. You can grab those by visiting his page at wt.buzz/Sig. And Marco mentioned it. Last 7 days, he's 10-3. MLB has been crushing it, guys. 67% since the All-Star break. Close to about 3 dimes, guys, is what he is netting there for his clients. So now would be a great opportunity for you to hop on board. Get 30 days, all access of Marco, every play, every sport, including what he's got going on this weekend at Saratoga or Del Mar, wherever it may be. Just $229. Use that code PONY229 at checkout. Get 30 days, all access for Marco. Every play, every sport, just $229. All right, guys, let's dive into this. And Marco, you were talking about this, a 5-horse field, but maybe one of the most talented 5 horses on a track in a meet here that we've seen in a while. So the Whitney Stakes. We'll get thoughts from both of you because I don't want to hear odds or evens this week. It's just 5, and like you said, Marco, these are 5 pretty good horses here. So let's start with number 1. By my standards, a 10-1 morning line shot here. Marco, we'll let you go with Gabriel Saez there, of course. Brett Calhoun, the trainer. 10-1, interesting. By my standards, your thoughts?
Yeah, this horse shouldn't be 10-1 in my opinion. You look at the horse that, by my standards, lost to Silver State. Only lost by a length to that horse. And if you go back and watch the race and look at the trips the two horses got, by my standards had to go 4 wide in the turn, and Silver State come right up the rail to get the win. Saved all the ground and only win by 1 length. Also, if you look, this is the 3rd start of the season, 3rd off the layoff for By My Standards. What have I always told you guys? 3rd start off the layoff is the best for a horse. So if I'm looking at the 2 horses, the 1 and the 2, there's more value with 10-1 shot By My Standards. So I'll be having this horse on my ticket as my value play.
All right, there you go. Talk to me here, Sig. What do you think about By My Standards here? A stalker-style horse here?
Yeah, he is a stalker-style horse, Joe, but I have to disagree with my colleague over there, Marco, on this one. This horse has a lot of heart. He always shows up, runs big on the big stage, but what's eluded him so far in his career is that Grade 1 victory. He has 4 wins in Grade 2s. And he settled for second 3 times in Grade 1 so far, and I don't see him breaking that streak on Saturday. He's hit the board in 13 of his 16 career races, and he's seen the turn the corner last race after back-to-back less than stellar starts to kick off the season here. He's been working well, and he's in a short field. He should be on your exotic tickets here, but I don't actually have him in my top selections, as we'll get to later.
All right, well, then we'll move on to number 2 in this race, the Whitney Stakes. $1 million up for grabs here. Silver State, Marco, interesting. Ricardo Santana Jr. aboard. Steve Asmussen actually trying to get a little bit closer to that all-time wins record by a trainer with Silver State here. What do you think his chances are at 4-1?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about Sig's comment about By My Standards never winning a Grade 1 stake. You know what? I think I'll keep that in mind when I'm doing my handicapping.
Oh, Lord.
My little shot there for Siggy. But, I appreciate the help there, Sig. Silver State, as we said, this is a horse that is, what can you fault? He's won, 6 in a row now, Silver State, and you look at him, his numbers are improving. But as I said, if I look at the 2 races that they just came out of, the 2 horses that raced against each other, yeah, Silver State won, but he got the perfect trip in that race and was only able to beat By My Standards by 1 length. So if I'm going to bet these 2 horses, and one's sitting at 4-1 and the other one's sitting at 10-1, and there was only a length separating them, and I expect By My Standards to be improved, I have to play By My Standards. Silver State is an honest horse, will set off the pace. There's a couple horses in this race, By My Standards included, that is going to be subject to the pace up front. With only a 5-horse field, a lot of times you get slower fractions because no one wants to be the horse to run with the horse on the lead. But I think we're going to see a little bit of a speed duel develop, and I'll tell you who it's between when we move on to the next horse.
All right, well, Silver State here, Sig, 4 for 4 this year, won 6 straight since October. So talk to us. What do you think? 4-1 on this one.
Yeah, Joe, like Marco said, 6 straight wins here. A couple of those were in allowance races, but he has jumped up the stakes company in the last 2. He's shown the ability to come from off the pace, but he's a colt that prefers to be on the pace or just off of it. And with Cox and Rosario on Nick's Go here that we're going to be coming up talking about, nobody's going to be able to go with Nick's Go. Nick's Go's whole strategy in every race pretty much is get out of the gate, get to the lead, and try to basically wire the field, run them down. And I don't think Silver State's going to have the type of trip and the type of setup that he usually likes to have here. I don't see him as a serious win contender, but I do like the fact that he won last out without Lasix. Shows me he can run without it here, and that was in the Metropolitan Handicap at Belmont. He seems to be getting better. He was on the Derby Trail last year as a 3-year-old. As he gets older here and more developed, I think he's actually becoming a better racehorse, and I think he has a shot here to definitely hit your tickets for the exotics.
All right, there you go. Number 1, number 2, By My Standards, Silver State. Now we're going to move on to the number 3-horse Swiss Skydiver in this one. Irad Ortiz Jr., Kenny McPeak, and 6-1 here, Marco. Interesting enough, Swiss Skydiver trying to become just the 7th lady to win the Whitney Stakes here. What do you think her chances are?
Yeah, Joe, you've done enough shows with me now. You know I don't like fillies racing against the colts, especially in the older division here that we've got in this race. You've got 3, 4, and 5-year-old horses in this race. Swiss Skydiver, this is going to be her first start since April. In that last start, she faded in the stretch, got beat 6.5. And the reason for it is they went a blistering second panel in that race. They got into a speed duel that they didn't need to do. And that might signal why there's a jockey change and you're seeing Irad show up on this horse. And that is a huge jockey change. You know, no disrespect to Robbie Albarero, but he is not Irad Ortiz. So that is the big plus on this horse and the only reason that I'll have this horse underneath on my ticket. But if they decide to go early with Knicks Go, that's going to be suicide for this horse unless Irad is able to rate the horse and stay just off the flank of Knicks Go and not get caught up in fractions and let Knicks Go have soft fractions. She may hang around to finish second or third, but I really don't think so. I think there's going to be a couple horses that pass her in the stretch. I don't like her against the boys. As I've said many times, she could make me look stupid as she did in the, what was it, the Belmont, the one race that she did race against the boys. So we'll see what happens with Swiss Skydiver, but too long of a layoff to go up against these type of horses first out of the box.
Yeah, it was. They said there, Sig, that at the Apple Blossom there at the Oak Lawn, she might have had a slight foot infection, but anticipating that's going to be much better, ready to go. She's been training here for a couple of weeks now. What do you think, Irad Ortiz Jr. and Swiss Skydiver? What are their chances here?
I like them here, Joe. The fact is that Swiss Skydiver was run out last year. She ran 10 races last year as a 3-year-old all over the country, won races at major races all over the country at big tracks. Got the nice layoff here since she was off from the Breeders' Cup Distaff through March when she ran in the Beholder Mile out of Santa Anita, won that, came back at Oaklawn, shipped back across to Arkansas for that, and did have a slight foot infection there. She's had a couple other problems, and then the McPeak barn up in New York had a problem with the herpes outbreak for the horses too, so it kept some of these horses off the track. I think that trainer Ken McPeak was just looking to get her a race in here. She's been off way too long, but I think the rest is definitely going to help her in here. Knicks Go and Maxfield, in my opinion, the next two horses we're talking about, are going to take the majority of the action at the windows here. I think if you're looking for a long shot with some ability, I think Swiss Skydiver's the one. And just so you know, Marco, she won the Preakness last year, not the Belmont. She won the Preakness.
You knew that was coming. You knew that was coming, Marco. There you go. All right, so the lady going against the boys here tomorrow. That's number 3, Swiss Skydiver. We'll move on to the 6-5 shot. One of the favorites here at Knicks Go. And, of course, Brad Cox, Joel Rosario here with this horse. And, Marco, you mentioned speed. I got to believe Knicks Go certainly has the speed here for a wire-to-wire situation. What do you think?
Yeah, and I want to say to my buddy there, Sig, for correcting me, you are correct, but actually that was the third leg of the Triple Crown last year, the Preakness, and that's what got me confused. So that's why. But
a solid
keep
answer.
it in mind, it was one of those years where the races were all, turned around. So it's okay. Let's go to this horse at Knicks Go. This is the horse, as you said, Joe, will be on the front end. Will say, catch me if you can. The strategy with this horse in all of the races is Sig pointed out, he just tries to, run the field down. He bottoms the field out. He just keeps going each panel faster, and, the horses get discouraged because they can't make up ground on him. The horse has had one bad race in the last 2 years, and that's when they shipped this horse to Saudi Arabia. And if you look at the timetable of when they did that, they raced that horse back in less than 30 days when they shipped over there. That is just, first of all, you don't see many horses at this level of competition race inside of a month. Usually it's a full month to 5 weeks, sometimes 6 in between starts. To ship across the pond there, so to speak, racing that tough of a race was just too much. And I think that's what did the horse in. Brad Cox, one of the hottest trainers in the U.S. Sometimes those trainers that do well here in the U.S., when they go overseas, don't do quite as well. Maybe they don't get the same feed over there. They have different, feed. You can read into that whatever you want, but that's also a scenario of why maybe this horse didn't race so well over there. But back here, came off the layoff, had a start last time out, won easily. If you go back and look at that race, Joel Rosario never moved his hands. Never. They were sitting like this the entire race. All he was trying to do was not fall off the horse. This horse was under wraps, and there's a lot left in the tank. And I'll be honest, I was back and forth between Knicks Go and Maxfield, but I'm going to go with the 5-year-old that's got the experience, and I'm just putting a line through that one bad race over in Egypt, Dubai, and saying he's going to say goodbye to this field as he rolls on home. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, Prairie Meadows, July 2nd for the Cornhusker there. I guess anybody that had any concerns about the recovery process from Saudi Arabia, I'm going to imagine, Sig, that was pretty much put to bed rather quickly here. What do you think about Knicks Go?
Well, I have to disagree with Marco. I can think of 20 million reasons why they shipped Knicks Go over to Saudi Arabia for that race. But they won't get into all 20 million of them. But, Joe, do you remember when Secretariat went off the Prairie Meadows and won the Cornhusker handicap?
Crazy. I feel like I was there yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember that either because it didn't happen because good horses and great horses don't go to Prairie Meadows to basically make a name for themselves. Yes, Knicks Go was nice coming back, going 2 turns, winning that race in a dominant fashion. But who did he beat? He beat Last Judgment and I can't even read this. Rated R Sports, Rated R Superstar. His last win, like I said, at Prairie Meadows was with the use of Lasix as well, which he won't get again here. If you notice, he's only won one race without Lasix. That was the Pegasus World Cup Invitational. Came back Saudi Arabia, no Lasix. Came back to the Metropolitan Handicap, no Lasix. Finished fourth. They're going to employ the same tactics that they used here and get out to that lead there. But he hasn't been facing this quality. Horses like Swiss Skydiver and Maxfield have another gear. They can sit there, they can rate off of a horse like Knicks Go and make their move when they hit the stretch. And I foresee that happening here. I did not land on Knicks Go as my top choice. I think he has a great shot, but it's all going to depend on how much they spot him, the field spots him in this spot.
All right. Well, that leaves us one left. And no, I don't believe this horse ever raced at Prairie Downs. So here we go. Maxfield, number 5 here, 8-5. Jose Ortiz aboard it to Brandon Walsh there. The trainer has done real well here, Marco, I believe. Now, 7 for 8 in this career? Stepped up his last couple of times out, his last couple of wins as well. So what do you think about Maxfield in this spot?
Yeah, Maxfield is a horse that bittersweet horse for me and Sig. If you remember when this horse was on the Derby Trail, we gave you this horse in his final prep race, and we were all excited about it. We said, grab this horse before that race leading into the Derby, because after he blows this field away, you're not going to get the odds for the Kentucky Derby that you can get right now. Well, you know what? We were absolutely right. He blew that field away. And you weren't going to get those odds because Sig and I ran down before that race and bet a future on him, and we got no odds at all because then he got injured and didn't make it to the Derby. So Maxfield's got a special place in my heart, but I just don't think he's going to be able to go with Knicks Go. They're going to battle it out, but I think Knicks Go is going to be left alone on the front end because it's a small field. I don't think anybody's going to run with Knicks Go early. And Joel Rosario is going to be able to get that breather in the middle of the race that'll hold off that charge of Maxfield. Now, if you want to see an impressive move, but I don't want to say take a page out of Sig's playbook there from his analysis of Knicks Go, Maxfield swooped the field going into the turn and was on top before he came out of the turn. It was a massive move. But who did he beat? You know, I got to explain to Sig, in horse racing, sometimes you need it's called a prep race, where you're just getting the work into the horse and you're taking a free check in a smaller purse. It's called a paid workout. I know Sig's not real well-versed. Neither am I in the workout field, but that's what was going on with Knicks Go, Joe. Maxfield in Knicks Go probably is the cold punch exacta here, but I'm going to make Maxfield my second choice here in this one, and I'll let my esteemed colleague battle back at me here because I've thrown quite a few haymakers today.
So, yeah, no kidding. And side note here, though, Jose Ortiz, he's, I believe, 5-0 aboard Maxfield, but finished second in the Whitney last year, did Ortiz. And who was he on? Oh, yeah, by my standards. So talk to me here, Sig. What do you think now on Maxfield? What are the chances that he gets it done?
Well, as Marco said, it was bittersweet because Maxfield was my Derby horse last year before that injury. It's come back very strong. This horse has 7 wins and 8 career starts. Only lost when they shipped him across the country to Santa Anita. Finished 3rd in that race there. I can blame the shipping on that. This is his first time shipping up to New York, though. He's been on that Kentucky circuit. He raced on the fairgrounds one time, but mainly on the Kentucky circuit. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the Saratoga surface. He's been working well over it for the last few weeks here. I do like that. What I really like about Maxfield, though, is he shows an extra gear that we see some of the top horses have, and I think in this race, Swiss Skydiver has it as well. They're able to rate just off of the early leaders, and then when asked, they can find a whole other gear that just basically helps them blow by. Is that going to be easy with Knicks Go setting a really fast early pace? No. But can a horse like Maxfield do it? I think he's getting better as he gets older here. We've seen it with horses like Whitmore, who just improve the older they get. I think actually missing out on that the Derby Trail as a 3-year-old might have actually benefited Maxfield. He didn't have to face that tougher competition last year, and I think he just sort of feels like he controls the race from here on out. And I think Jose Ortiz is the perfect jock, like you said, 5-0 when he rides this horse, and he's my top choice here on Saturday for the Whitney.
No, he should be in a pretty good spot there to figure out how much energy that horse is going to have to use to keep up with him, but that's what it's all about here. It is 5 horses, guys, 5 of the best. This is going to be a great race at Saratoga tomorrow, race number 10. We will go ahead and take a look at both Marco and Sig's cards here in just a sec, but just a fast reminder that Sig's daily racing reports are available every race day by 9 a.m. Eastern Time if you visit his page at wt.buzz/Sig. Never miss one of those reports each and every race day by 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And nobody's been hotter than Marco, guys. Just absolutely crushing it, especially in the MLB. Since the All-Star break, 67%. And now you can get 30 days of all access. That includes, obviously, the races here, the race card, not only this weekend, but for the next few weekends, 30 days, every sport, every play with Marco, just $229. Use that code Pony229 at checkout for Marco. All right, here we go, guys. Got to take a look at the card. And Marco, I'm going to come to you first here, my friend. A lot of bitching and moaning going on in this show. So I can't wait to see with 5 horses how different your cards look. Marco, talk to us. What's it look like here for you?
Well, as I said on the show, Knicks Go is my top choice, number 4. And the difference, and it's ironic that the horses, the 4 and the 5, flip them around as far as the ages, and I think that's going to be the difference. Knicks Go is the 5-year-old here, and Maxfield's the 4-year-old. I'm going to go with the experience. And the one thing to remember, we know where Knicks Go is going to be. He's going to be on the front end. And Joel Rosario is one of the best at rating a horse and getting him to the wire. He's going to be at the rail because he's going to be on the front. Maxfield's going to have to make up his ground going wide. Now, it's only a 5-horse field, so he won't be that wide. But if Rosario is smart, he'll get the breather going down the backside, and he'll start to accelerate while they're in the turn where he has the advantage of the rail and saving ground and open up a little bit on Maxfield and then be able to hold him off. Maxfield for second. By my standards, my long shot horse, I can't remember who my long shot horse was last week. Boy, my mind is just, playing tricks on me.
Ouch.
Maybe Sig remembers, but this is my long shot value horse this week, 10-1, and then I will throw Swiss Skydiver on the back end just because this horse gives a great effort every time out and did win a Triple Crown race, the third leg of the Triple Crown last year against the boys. So we'll see if he can do it, if she can do it again this year. 4-5-1-3.
They even raced the Jim Dandy last week, Sig. I wasn't paying attention. I don't recall. I don't recall what might. I can't remember what Marco picked. But go ahead, Sig. Well, let's see what your card looks like here before we have to compliment him again.
Oh, Joe, we ended up with the same top two, just a different order. Like I told you guys earlier, I like Maxfield in this spot. I really think he's going to get a nice setup and be able to close in on Knicks Go coming down the stretch. Knicks Go, can't make any excuses for him. He's going to be on the lead. He's going to try to hold him off the whole way. Rosario is a great rider, knows how to rate the horse here, but I think he's going to get a little more pressure than he expects to get early on. What was Swiss Skydiver, the filly there in my third spot? She's definitely my long shot selection here. I see the top two taking a lot of the money. I think 6-1 is being rather generous. I think she's going to float up there, 8-10-1 probably. Really good horse, has had some rest here. I think it's going to be ready to fire out of the gate. And then I went with Silver State. I mean, you can't go wrong with being six races, 6 wins coming into here. Santana's an aggressive rider. He's definitely going to try to get that horse out and keep him on the early pace here for Asmussen. And like you said, Asmussen's going for that training record here for the record number of wins. I don't think Silver State's going to be the one to do it here, but I can make a case for all 5 horses in this field to either win or finish last. It's going to be a great race to watch, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it certainly is. $1 million Grade 1 Whitney Stakes, guys. Saratoga, 1 1/8. Doesn't get any better than this. Race number 10 tomorrow at Saratoga. Again, you can head over to WagerTalk.com. Make sure you guarantee to grab Sig's Racing Report for his card tomorrow, as well as Marco. Grab it 30 days, all access, never miss a play. All sports, all plays, including his plays this weekend at the track. All yours there. Use that code PONY229. Never miss a play for the next 30 days. All right, that does it, guys. Should be an awful lot of fun this weekend here as Major League Baseball continues. Obviously, the stakes races continue. Football just around the corner. Awful lot of fun. But make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner and come back and join us again next week for another edition of Pony Pundits. On behalf of Marco D'Angelo and Sig, I'm Joe Ranieri. Best of luck with your plays this weekend, guys. We'll talk to you again next Friday.
What's better than $2 Tuesday at Sports Memo? How about Freebie Friday? We can't go any lower than free, and each and every Friday we'll hand select a best bet from one of the hottest handicappers on the site and give it out for free. All you have to do is each and every Friday, head over to sportsmemo.com. The Freebie Friday will be listed on the homepage, and you'll be just a click away from a free bet.